Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Arts Without Borders' annual fine arts show is now open for submissions. Abby St. John has more.
I'm happy to be joined here today by Cindy Sorley-Kaihinger with Arts Without Borders. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Of course. Now, today we're talking about the Fine Art Show that will be taking place in October. Can we start with a little bit of history of the Fine Art Show and how it ties in with Arts Without Borders?
We started the art show way back in 2007. That's when the Lieutenant Governor General of Alberta had Arts Awards. And they put up a competition for smaller communities to put on some kind of arts related event during this time. And so we came up with a festival that covered all the arts, writing, theater, singing, dancing, the whole 9 yards. And the art show was born. And it went over so well that we've been doing it every year since 2007. And we've had people in it from the States, Eastern Canada, Western Canada, like all over Canada. And since COVID and the 2008 when the recession hit, things slowed down a little bit because it costs money to ship. So we've just been that's how we got started as part of this arts festival. And we called it Arts Without Borders because Lloydminster sits on the border. And so you can't say, well, one or the other. So we said, no borders. And that kind of extended to no borders everywhere. And we have had, the numbers vary each year, how many people enter, but it keeps our jurors on their toes. We try to get jurors that are Canadian and that are renowned throughout Canada, sometimes internationally. And we've had people like David Kittler, Terry Isaac, Julie Hartwood, a lot of big name artists in the art world as our jurors. And this year our juror is Emily Lorzon. And she's from up in northwestern Alberta. And she's also a well-known artist in her field and is part of a group that I'm part of, Artists for Conservation. And that's an international group of artists who tie their artwork to conservation as well. So, and it's my job to find the jurors. And I can say, I am glad I'm not a juror because the artwork we get is very good.
It's great that this show has been going on for so long. I believe that arts is so important for anybody of any ages. So the show does sound really amazing. Now, for this year's show, you are now accepting submissions. What are you looking for in terms of art or artists?
We are looking for anything and everything. We have a very broad range of categories for people to enter. There's jewelry, there's sculpture, there's folk art, there's landscape, there's portraiture, there's figurative, there's botanical, there's animal, there's wildlife, there's contemporary, you name it, it's there. Jewelry, pottery, you name it, it's there. And so we like to have a wide variety so the show's catches the interest of everybody because not everybody's into just paintings. And so we've had really cool stuff and we're looking forward to seeing what this year brings.
And if any artist wants to enter, how can they do so? And is it open for all ages?
Yep, anybody and everybody. We have a youth division, which I jury the youth. So that's my part of it. And we have gone to an electronic form of entry. So it just makes it a little easier for people further apart. And you go to our website, which is www.artswithoutborders.ca. And on the website, there is a link to submit art, and you can do that. And but the only thing there is for the physical show is a size limitation because the display pit case um, area that we're in now is smaller than what we used to have. So for people who want or have art that is oversized or cumbersome to ship or just too costly to ship, we have a virtual component where you can enter and just say, I'm just going to do the virtual part or and then you don't have to worry about shipping or all that fun stuff. And if you like to paint in big format, like some artists do, this way we can still display your artwork, and it's all good because we have a video monitor in the room with the artwork, and they are displayed at the same time. And everybody's art, both on the monitor and on the physical display, are labeled with their title, the artist's name, and their contact information. And if anybody wants to buy their artwork, they go direct to the artist. The festival committee takes no commission. There's no part of that.
Wonderful. Well, this sounds like it's going to be an amazing show fit for everyone. So thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to hear more about the show.
Thank you very much. Our deadline is June 17th, though.
Lloydminster is looking to take driver safety more seriously this year, investing in a new radar sign. The Citizens on Patrol Speed Watch program was created this year to make Lloyd roads safer. The program is entirely volunteer run. It went to council seeking money for a speed radar sign.
We received a proposal from Citizens on Patrol that are out there doing great work in terms of just keeping an eye on crime and traffic and different things like that through their volunteerism. And an opportunity came up to make their program a little bit more robust with more signage and a bit of a radar that will let people know the speeds that they're traveling at through specific areas.
The city is giving just over $5,000 to Citizens on Patrol for their sign, which is yet to have a location decided.
We're incredibly fortunate to have volunteers in our community who are willing to take the safety of our residents and motorists into consideration and do what they can to try and just help with that public education and awareness side of things. You know, this isn't traffic enforcement, but it's just letting people know where their speeds are. So council is most definitely in favor of anything that's going to improve public safety, and especially at value like that, where we're getting that excellent volunteerism in our community, that's a win-win for the community in general.
Cold Lake City Council has been busy the last few weeks. We sat down with the mayor last week to get caught up.
I'm speaking with the mayor of Cold Lake, Craig Copeland, today, and we're talking about a fairly hefty council meeting that took place. A lot of things were decided, including the city's mill rate. And so what are taxpayers there looking at this year?
Yeah, the average taxpayer in Cold Lake will be facing just under a 5% tax increase. And so what we've done is the mill rate will be the same now for residential and multifamily. Even though multifamilies had a significant growth in assessment and value with some recent sales, we're going to blend the mill rate the same. And then, so everybody, what we're trying to do is treat everybody equally and come in with just under a 5% tax increase for commercial and for residential.
All right. So do you know how much it works out to on the average homeowner's bill or anything?
Well, it probably be going to be a couple $100, depending on your value of your home. It will be, say, for example, your municipal tax portion of your bill is, say, $3,000, 5% of that. So also what's going up in Cold Lake which is out of our control, is the education component. So 25% of what runs education in the province is collected through municipal taxes. So people in Cold Lake, unfortunately, will see a lift in their property tax. Just it's tough. We had a tough budget, but there's a lot of inflation pressures in some of the different line items. But we'll be looking at things next year and see what we can do. I mean, 5% for us is one of the higher tax increases we've done in quite a few years.
I think a lot of communities are facing similar things. Was there anything else to come out of last night's meeting that you can tell us about?
Yeah, we had a really good meeting. We in Cold Lake we have a community grants committee that sort of reviews all the different grants that user groups, nonprofits, etc. Asking the city for a helping hand, and no shortage of wants, but some real good ones. We we things from the Filipino Basketball League right to minor soccer to lacrosse, and then a gardening club. So really cross section of an individual that dives in Cold Lake to collect garbage run by the marina. So some unique ones, and of course the big one last night was the chamber hosts Feast on the Beach, which is September long weekend, which is always a popular event. It's a food truck. Food trucks come in from all over Alberta, and they have a Friday, Saturday where they have bands playing, beer gardens, and it's all free. And so we came in as a sponsor to the event, and overall we gave them $16,000 towards the event.
Sounds good. There's always stuff happening in Cold Lake, it seems, and it's really happening in communities. So look forward to hearing more about what's going to be happening this summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy. I mean, but that's good. That's what makes your community, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Craig, thank you for your time today, and look forward to speaking to you down the road.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Welcome back. The CPCA season is set to begin next week in Poundmaker First Nation. And this year there will be a new voice on New Country 95.9. Today I'm joined by Brinley Hassan, the new voice of the CPCA, and she is here today to talk about us with the upcoming CPCA season starting up next week. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Brinley.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Brinley, let's talk about you used to be with the marketing team with the CPCA, and now you're going to be the main radio voice. Just how excited are you that the season's starting up here next week in Poundmaker?
I'm super pumped. I can't wait to kind of boots on the ground, get things going, and yeah, go through the season. First one as a radio host.
All right, and then we'll talk a little bit about the CPCA season as a whole, starting out in Poundmaker. Just what are some of the main storylines and the exciting things that are going to be taking place throughout the whole summer?
Well, there's all sorts of kind of crazy things always happening in chuckwagon racing. A big one for Poundmaker. We're starting the season off, so you want to see, who got new horses over the winter, who's changed up their training, who are going to be the top competitors kind of for the season. You get a look at who's running fast this year.
Excellent. And here in Lloydminster, the two big races for us are of course, the National Chuckwagon the finals that are here, as well as the NACC Championship. So how exciting are those, especially with the NACC Championship coming into its now 4th year?
It's really exciting. Lloyd's a really great crowd. It's a great facility, so it's always exciting coming to Lloyd and putting on the big show.
And then one really cool thing about you getting the job as the new radio voice is that you're, of course, a female, and that's really big in the CPCA racing, as well as having Amber LaRue as one of the first CPCA female chuckwagon drivers. So just being in this position that is a very male-dominated industry, how big is that for you and, of course, for females who are interested in chuckwagon racing as a whole?
I mean, I think times are definitely changing. For myself, I got my start under Amber LaRue. I worked for her as a barn hand, and she was, sometimes that's what it takes. Seeing a girl do it, or having somebody to kind of help you out, be the big sister and get you going, and then build up your confidence. And yeah, that's what it really takes, is having those influences, I think.
All right, and then final question for you just today, Brinley. What is the race that you are, or set of races that you are most excited for this upcoming CPCA season?
I'm really excited for Batoche, the Back to Batoche days. We haven't raced there yet, and I hear it's quite the big deal to be in Batoche for those couple of days there.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and be sure to check out the CPCA on Stingray Radio throughout the whole season. They will be broadcasting all those races as well, and we will have plenty of coverage for the CPCA here at Primetime Local News as well. We're going to take just a quick look at your 3-day forecast. Tomorrow it's going to be nice and sunny out there, though it is going to be a little bit windy and it will mild out a little bit there, a high of 21 degrees with a low of 5 degrees. On Sunday it'll be mostly cloudy as well with a high of 19 degrees, a low of 6 degrees. And then the rain will make a reappearance on Monday. It'll be breezy and a little afternoon rain with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 8 degrees. And thank you very much for watching Primetime Local News. My name is Thomas Wildman, and enjoy the rest of your day.